Guys, have you ever thought about how trucks used to be absolute rock stars back in the day? Yeah, I'm talking about half-cab trucks, those weird-looking vehicles with a half-sized cabin that looked like someone chopped off the truck's head. What a vibe they had. These half-cab trucks were once the pride of America's roads. You'd see them at every construction site, every farm, every narrow alley. But then one day, poof! They vanished, like some Bollywood one-hit wonder hero. In today's video, we're going on an epic journey to find out why these trucks were made, why they became so popular, and why they eventually got game over. And trust me, this story has so much drama, so much spice, that you won't be able to resist dropping a comment. So, let's get started. The birth of half-cab trucks, a unique tale. Imagine this, it's the 1930s in America. The Great Depression has caused chaos everywhere. People don't have jobs, don't have money, but dreams? Oh, they still have big dreams. And to make those dreams come true, they needed a vehicle that was both hardworking and playful. Enter the half-cab truck. This wasn't just any ordinary vehicle, my friend. Its design was so quirky that it felt like someone had arranged a love marriage between a van and a tractor. These trucks followed the cab-over-engine style, meaning the engine was right under the driver. The cabin was tiny, just enough space for the driver and maybe a couple of buddies. The rest of the space? That was for cargo. This compact package could carry so much load that even bigger trucks would blush, and they were perfect for small towns, navigating narrow streets, taking tight corners. It was child's play for them. But the real reason for their existence was regulations. Yep, in 1930s and 40s America, there were strict laws about truck length. The total length, including the trailer, was counted. If you had a big cabin, you'd have less space for cargo. Half-cab trucks flipped the bird at this problem. Their small cabin meant more room for a longer cargo bed. So, within the same length, you could carry more stuff. Genius move, right? And the brands? Oh, wow! Autocar, Mack, Freightliner, they all jumped into the race. They built half-cab trucks that weren't just practical but had a vibe of their own. Picture this, a driver sitting in his shiny half-cab truck, Elvis Presley playing on the radio, hauling cement to a construction site or fertilizer to a farm. What a scene! What do you think about that era? Drop it in the comments, cause I bet you're a fan of this retro vibe too. The golden era, when half-cab trucks were rock stars. Now let's talk about the golden era of these trucks, from the 1940s to the 1970s. This was the time when half-cab trucks ruled America's roads. Construction sites, farms, factories, they were everywhere. And why not? These trucks were all-rounders. The biggest thing, their maneuverability. In small towns with streets so narrow that big trucks couldn't even dream of entering, these half-cab trucks moved like ninjas. Reverse, take tight turns, or deliver in crowded market areas, these trucks never failed. Then there was their compact size. Man, these trucks were so small that parking was a breeze. In today's world of massive monster trucks, imagine a truck that's small but gets big jobs done. And cargo capacity? Wow! They could carry so much that people were left stunned. Cement or steel for construction, equipment for farming, load it all up, no stress. And another thing, these trucks were affordable. For small businesses, farmers, contractors, they were the perfect choice. Brands like Autocar designed them specifically for tough jobs, refuse collection, cement mixing, or heavy-duty hauling. There was this one model, the Autocar CK64 half-cab. It was so tough, it felt like Superman's little brother. But there was a bit of fun in their story too. Drivers used to say that sitting in these trucks was an adventure. The cabin was so small that there was only one proper seat, and if a friend sat along, they'd be squished together. And the engine? It was right under the driver, so the cabin was like a full-on disco of heat and noise. Imagine how that must have felt. Would you take a road trip in a truck like that? Let me know in the comments, cause I think it'd be an epic experience. The downfall, why did they get game over? But every story has a twist, and the half-cab truck story got its villain moment too. By the 1980s, these trucks started disappearing. So, what caused this twist? Let's break it down. The biggest villain was changing regulations. In 1982, America's truck length laws changed. Instead of counting the total length, now only the trailer's length mattered. This meant you could build a bigger cabin without sacrificing cargo space. Conventional trucks, with the engine in a hood up front, started looking more practical. They offered the same cargo capacity but with more space for the driver. So, the edge that half-cab trucks had? It was gone. Then came the driver comfort drama. The driver's experience in a half-cab truck. Man, it was like a bit of a penance. Tiny cabin, engine underneath, so you got a triple attack of heat, vibrations, and noise. And sleeper bunks? They were so small that drivers probably thought, is this a bed or a show box? Conventional trucks offered bigger cabins, air conditioning, and proper beds. Who'd want to stay squished in a tiny cabin when there's a luxury option? And another thing, safety concerns. In half-cab trucks, the driver sat right above the engine. If there was an accident, the risk to the driver was higher. In conventional trucks, the engine was up front, acting as a buffer in crashes. In an era focused on safety, this was a big factor. Then the market trends changed too. By the 1980s, the trucking industry was all about bigger, more powerful conventional trucks. Companies started investing in those instead of smaller trucks. And half-cab trucks? They started feeling old school, like a 90s pager next to today's smartphone. But here's the thing, their charm still lingers. Even today, some enthusiasts restore these trucks and take them to vintage shows. Imagine a shiny half-cab truck with a retro paint job, standing proud at a car show. What a scene, right? Would you want to see these trucks back on today's roads? Or do you think they're better off in history books? Spill your thoughts in the comments. The cultural impact, half-cabs in America's heart. Now, let's talk about how half-cab trucks weren't just machines, they were icons. These trucks didn't just haul cargo, they carried stories, dreams, and a slice of Americana that still gives us goosebumps. Back in the day, half-cabs were the heartbeat of small-town life. Every diner, every hardware store, every dusty road had one parked nearby. They were the unsung heroes of the post-war boom, helping rebuild America from skyscrapers to family farms. Picture a kid in the 50s, ice cream cone in hand, waving at a half-cab driver delivering lumber. That driver wasn't just a worker, he was a local legend, the guy who kept the town moving. And pop culture? Oh, they snuck in there too. Half-cab starred in old-school lads, grainy TV shows, even B-movies where they'd rumble through deserts chased by bad guys. They had this gritty, underdog charm, not flashy like muscle cars, but real. Like that one uncle who's quiet, but has the best stories. Drivers had a bond with these trucks. They'd name them Betsy, Big Red, and treat them like family. Sure, the cabin was a sauna, but it was their sauna. They'd slap on custom paint, chrome rims, whatever made it theirs. It was a badge of pride, proof they could handle the tough life. Even music got in on it. Country songs from the 60s had lines about riding high in my cab over rig. Half-cabs were the working man's poetry. They stood for hustle, for showing up when the world was heavy. Today, they're legends in a different way. Car shows, retro festivals, half-cabs draw crowds like moths to a flame. People snap selfies, swap stories, and kids ask, why don't trucks look like this anymore? It's nostalgia, sure, but also respect for a time when things were built to last, quirks and all. What's your vibe? Ever seen a half-cab in real life? Maybe in a movie or an old photo? Or got a story from someone who drove one? Drop it in the comments, I'm dying to know what these trucks mean to you. The legacy, will half-cab trucks make a comeback? So, the question now is the chapter on half-cab trucks closed for good, or is there a surprise waiting? In today's world of electric trucks and self-driving vehicles, imagine if a company made a modern half-cab truck with an electric engine, compact design, and a futuristic cabin. How cool would that be? In Europe and Asia, cab over trucks are still super popular because roads are smaller and length restrictions still exist. Even in America, urban areas need smaller trucks for deliveries, so maybe one day, half cab trucks will make a comeback, just like 90s bell-bottom jeans came back in style. But whatever happens, their story is an inspiration. It shows how a simple idea, small cabin, more cargo, changed an entire industry. And for drivers? These trucks are a reminder of their hard work, their adventures. Picture a driver who spent all day working in his half-cab truck, sitting in that tiny cabin at night, sipping coffee, and thinking, tomorrow's a new start. What a moment. What do you think? Should half-cab trucks make a return, or are they better as a nostalgic memory? And if you loved this story, drop a quick comment, I'd love to read it. So, friends, that was the rollercoaster story of half-cab trucks, a journey that was practical, quirky, and full of a bit of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video and got a dose of history, nostalgia, and plenty of drama. Now it's my turn. Tell me in the comments, which part of this story did you like the most? Would you take a ride in a truck like this? Or do you remember seeing one of these trucks somewhere? And if you had fun watching this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a new story. We'll meet again in the next video, but until then, drive safe, dream big, and leave some fun in the comment box. Bye!